There's a great turnout from the good people of Wrexham, and I think our dealers have their work cut out. Over to David Hackney, where Gerald's certainly hoping for a little less conversation and a little more action.
Being a dealer, we're always seeing things that we haven't seen before, and this is something I haven't seen before, but Gerald, tell me all about this.
Well, in 2002, I went to Memphis for the 25th anniversary of Elvis's death. I went to Gracelands, and when I was in Gracelands, I met a lot of the entourage, known as the Memphis Mafia. And Bernard J. Lansky, I met Bernard J. Lansky. Well, Bernard J. Lansky was he ran a tailor shop in Beale Street. And when Elvis was young, he was a truck driver. Every day he'd stop his truck and he'd stand outside Bernard Lansky's shop. Mm-hmm. So Bernard Lansky one day invited him in because Elvis was so envious of seeing all these guys going in and buying all these expensive clothes. So Elvis said, one of these days I'm going to be famous and I'm going to buy this business off you. And Bernard Lansky said, when you do become famous, don't buy the business off me, just buy your clothes off me.
Sure.
So as Elvis made it over the years and he got more and more famous, he had Bernard Lansky make all his clothes for him. Bernard Lansky designed everything. And this was one of the shirts that he designed for Elvis. Yeah. And I spent a bit of time with Bernard Lansky and he presented me with a shirt. So
marvellous. Yeah, that's how you got it. Terrific. Yeah, nice story.
I met a lot of them there and it was a dream, it really was.
Quality is fantastic, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. It's all lined inside and it's all lame. Yeah. Even the buttons are fantastic.
Yeah.
Let me get some cash out and just try and tempt you. I don't know where I'm going to or not. There's 50, there's £100. How does that sound? Doesn't sound very good, does
it?
Not
very tempting.
I think it's wonderful, but I don't know who I'd sell it to. Well, I mean, this is just an incredible shirt.
Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ooh, I'm all shook up. I tell you what, you can see the king walking out in that even, can't you? £100, a decent stab at it. I think like the 200 to 300, I think the 300 is perhaps being a bit optimistic, unless Elvis has not left the building. But an amazing thing, will we get some Presley fans there at the sale, all shook up over something like this? Maybe.
Well, I think auction's the place for this, Gerald. I really do. I think, you know, with the cover here signed and everything, I think it's just a really good lot and it's going to cause some attention, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Thank you,
well,
Gerald.
If that's the case, that's where we'll...
Thanks very much for ringing.
Thanks very much. Been a pleasure.
It's now or never for the shirt as it goes under the hammer of auctioneer David Brettle.
It's coming up now, a great article, a shirt by Lansky, who produced garments for Elvis Presley. Is it going to sell?
Bids on the book as you'd expect, a lot of interest in this. We're going to start, well, I can tell you that the lowest bid was 50 and then we go catapulting up to 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. 150 bid, 160, 170 is my bid.
It's with the auctioneer at 170. You are below your £200. If he could sell it for that, would you take that? We've crept in at 180. It's a 180 there. Are you going to let that go at 180?
At £180, it will be sold then at 180. Anybody else now? 180. I sell to my left. Anybody on the net? At 180.
£180 has been taken, a buyer on my right here. We have some commission to take off. I make that just over £150, about £153. What have you got to say?
As long as you get the pleasure out of having that shirt, I'm happy.
I can now tell you, Elvis has left the building. The real deal, £153.
Not a bad price. At least it's not being returned to sender, eh, Gerald? We head back into the dealer's den where Karen Delmeni and Beryl are settling into this next deal.
Beryl, I'm Karen. Welcome to the show. Lovely to have you on. Thank you. And rather cute little items you bought today. Are these family pieces?
They were, yes.
Yeah?
They are.
So where have they come from? They come down
originally from Scotland.
Yeah.
They were given to my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law gave them to me.
Yeah. Do you know very much about them? Have you?
They're French, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That's about all I know about them, really.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They are French. They're after, and looking at me at this side, I can see the name Moreau, which was like a little band of brothers that did this very, very typical, gorgeous Victorian style. The material is spelter, and this finish, because they're often referred to as bronzed, this is a bronzed finish, and spelter really was an alloy design. It's like a poor man's bronze, designed to sort of look like bronze, but much more affordable. And we've got some interesting little plaques down here, haven't we? If I can, what is it? Enfant au tambour. So there's no
idea
guessing
what that makes.
I think that must be the drum. And this one, I think, enfant au cymbals, wasn't it? I love them. I can't. Do you know, when things like this come along, I think, oh, how can you part with them? But thank goodness you do, because it gives people like me a chance to buy them. Right, let's get some money on the table then, Beryl. Start off with a flying start, 50 quid. And another 2 20s, so £90, Beryl. I hope you think that's a really fair offer. You do, don't you? I can see it in your face. You think that's a fair offer. Yeah, I love these. I buy and sell them as part of my job, day in, day out. So I'm pretty much clued up on the value of them. At 90 quid, there's a little bit left. I'm going to put another tenner down, and that's my bid, 100 quid. And I bet going on in your head, you're thinking, I wish David was here and could give me an opinion, aren't you? And I think that is exactly what's just about to happen now, Beryl. Here he comes. Hello, David.
Right, let me tell you what the independent valuers and the auctioneer say. First of all, a pair of spelter figures. Karen, I think, is in the ideal position to sell these in as much as she is a trader. She moves up and down the country, doing lots of fairs, has got a hand on the pulse of what's happening in the trade, and I feel currently knows the price of goods just to a few pounds. The question is, can we get any more off Karen?
I love these. Everyone knows I love these, and I'm really trying hard to buy them. I can get away with 70 quid at auction sometimes, but they might make 120, in which case you get back to 100.
Yeah. I'm going to say try and get another 20 quid, but if you can't, you're faced with this choice. Shall I gamble and go to auction? Will they pay more in auction? I'm going to say to you, I can't push you in that direction. I think it's a real gamble, and it's a gamble that may not pay dividends.
Right. Another 20, please.
No, you're not getting another 20.
No. What about 10 then?
10? You'd be happy with another tenner?
I would, yes.
I'm certainly happy with that, Beryl, because I do love them. There you go, and I hope that's a bit more than you were hoping for when you first arrived this morning.
Yes, thank
Brilliant.
you very much.
Great, thanks
you.
very much for the deal.
Thank you.
Well done, Beryl. Always worth pushing for that extra tenner. I know they say good things come in small packages, but it's hard to even see Alison's next item. Oh, there it is.
What it really is was a very important piece when it was made. It's a vinegarette.
Yeah, and what was that used for then?
Well, any man about town, in order to get about town, would have had one of these, because the smells of the town were so repugnant that in order for them to get from A to B, they would use this.
That's it.
And inside here would have been a little piece of natural sponge, and they would have put scent or something that would have covered the odours of the street.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm hoping to find here, Anne, is that we do have the same marks. And I can tell you that this piece was made during the reign of Queen Victoria.
Ooh.
It was made by Joseph Taylor and John Perry in 1840.
Gosh, I didn't realise it was that old.
So that's rather nice, isn't it? And I can see that the marks are the same on the grill as they are on the main body of the case.
So it is the original grill, yeah.
It is. All right then. Well, I'll get my hot cash out and I'll see if I can tempt it away from you. There's 50. There's 100.
No.
120.
Getting there.
Slowly. 140.
Just before you make your decision, I have to tell you, and you'll be delighted with this, that the independent valuers are saying 80 to 120. I think they are being a little bit modest when you consider the charm of that object. But on the other hand, I do have to say Alison has put down a strong offer. You are right on the money, and perhaps
No, I'm not.
a little bit above it.
I'm £20 over.
Oh, no.
Put
You
it
look
back.
after them. I want you to look after me.
Well, I'm going to say your £20 over is a very shrewd investment, and it probably is worth a little bit more because of the delightful subject matter of the book. I have never seen one like that before. Have you?
Yes.
Oh,
Clever
Alison.
clog. You have seen one. I haven't seen one. It's a nice lot, and I think our dealer has put a sound offer on the table.
Right. You can't go 145, Alison?
No, I should be very happy to have that for 140, and I will find it a very nice little home.
Yeah, well, if you find it a good home, then I think I'll take the 140.
Are you sure? You don't want to take the 120? Which was,
No, I would rather not
You'd
take the
rather go for my
120, I'd rather go
We've got a
140.
deal, Anne.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm David.
Hello, David is my name.
David, you're easy to remember.
Oh, indeed.
Are you slightly embarrassed by bringing in a photo of the Spice Girls?
Not at all. Not at all. I think a delightful possession which I want to going to part with for the Royal Castle Lung Cancer Foundation.
And how did you acquire the photograph?
Right, okay. My son, was very friendly with Julian Lennon, John Lennon's son, went to this party and came here with that, and I thought I can do something with that, and I quietly, while he was looking the other way, put it to one side and so I can use that for a good purpose, and that is to sell it for the Royal Castle Lung Cancer Foundation, which I represent in North Wales.
Right. And do you have any connection at all? Are any of the girls involved in this particular charity?
Yes, we're delighted to say it. Melanie C. here is
which is Melanie C?
She's over here.
Oh, right.
Over
Yeah.
here. There we are, Melanie C. She is very much involved with our fundraising activities in Liverpool. In fact, last year gave a wonderful concert. Delightful girl, and we are lucky to have people like Melanie on board.
It's not intrinsically an antique. It's not the sort of thing that I normally deal in.
I understand.
But photographs of various pop groups do fetch quite a lot of money, and it would probably be a good thing for someone to invest in. I'll put some money on the table, shall I?
Please, I'd like you to do that.
But I'm not going to put very much.
Make my journey worthwhile, David.
Well,
do
look,
your best.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put £20 down for each Spice Girl. 20,
right, okay,
40,
yes.
60, 80, £100. Now, I think that's a pretty fair bid for this. But, and I'm not going to give you very much more money.
I've got to say, how much do you want? How much do you really, really want? That, I think, is a very sound, generous offer. I do feel, like David said, there is a collectible there.
Right.
There are lots of people out there that would think, wow, I've got Posh on there, I've got the girls on there, a Spice Girls signed. We know the provenance is good.
Indeed.
And because of that, that makes all the difference, as opposed to something that was rubber stamped or maybe was signed. So I think it's dead right. And I think at £100, I think it's a good buy. I think it's a good offer for the charity, and I would take that. And I think from our dealer's point of view, I think when you go to your international fairs and you sell these wonderful objects of art and objets d'art, then perhaps in the background, for the modern collector, you would be able to say, you know, hey, and there you'll be with the Spice Girls.
Right.
And David, you will then become hip.
Oh, yes.
Wowee. It was wonderful.
So what do you think of my offer?
I think it's a very sound and fair offer, and I'm going to accept that. On behalf of the foundation, I know they will be delighted, and I'll then inform Melanie C. what we've done today and hope we can then make it to £200.
Absolutely.
Who knows?
Well, I wish you the very best of luck with
very kind.
your charity fundraising.
And thank you for your kind offer.